Welcome to another installment of 5-Minute Tones. On today's video, we're going to take a look at the Plexi 2204 amp model, and in doing so, I want to talk about a really cool virtual amp mod you can do in here, and that is playing around with the bright cap value. This is going to be particularly effective on the Marshall models on here, but it's worth playing around with on just about any amp you like. Having said that, we're going to hear the 2204 stock settings, my usual LT TV Mix 7 cab IR. We'll hear a few DynaCab options at the end of the video, and then the old mate, London plate reverb, PRS DGT on the bridge pickup. That's the sound of the late 70s and early 80s there. If I tap the bridge pickup on here as well, it's got a little bit more of that kind of pseudo Malcolm Young, Billy Duffy twang about it. Now with that combo, basically the only thing I found myself doing is just turning the gain down on this a little bit. And if I want more saturation, I'll use the preamp input boost, like set to the CC boost or the shred boost. So I'll let you hear that. You may be thinking, Leon, why did you turn down the gain and then add a boost? Isn't that just the same as turning the gain up? Well, like a real Marshall, these models, as you turn the gain down, because they've got a bright cap across the input, you actually make the amp brighter. And while I like that on the 2204, it's less extreme than, say, like the 50-watt Plexi 6CA7 or the Brit 800, like, just doesn't have quite as much mongrel as these amps. Have a listen. Take a look under the hood of the Plexi 2204 by visiting the Ideal page, we can see the bright switch is on and the bright cap is at 500 picofarads there. Now, something like the Brit 800 or the 50-watt Plexis are going to have a different bright cap value. So the Brit 800 has a 1000 picofarad bright cap value and the Plexis have a 5000 picofarad cap value. That's kind of one thing that makes Plexi so angry sounding. So let's just take this one. There's a cool little mod. If you've almost got the perfect sound on a Marshall style amp, try change the bright cap value. We'll hear 500, 1000, and then 5000. Now, of course, I could just turn the treble up and turn the gain up a little bit, but it's not exactly the same thing. I even just set it to a custom value in there, about 1400 picofarads. So this is such a cool little tweak on there. Like I said, it can be that little bit of extra fairy dust on top of your guitar sound. And there's a really popular mod with the real amps as well. People will either clip the bright cap because on old JCM 800s, they were so loud that when you had the volume and the gain down low, they were pretty shrill. So you clip that bright cap and it sounds warmer, but it does affect the gain structure on there. The Plexi 2204, I think, is well worth just checking out as a great Marshall amp that you can fire up with a nice little greenback IR and have some fun. Speaking of which, I would recommend maybe the 4x12 1960 TV DynaCab. Plenty of food for thought on today's video. I'd love to know what your favorite Marshall amp is in the Fractal ecosystem. And if you like what I'm doing here on the channel, check the video description for a variety of different ways to support my channel. I'm going to go back to my own cab IR, a bit of that BF2 flanger, a bit of delay at the back end. I'm going to have some fun. Have a great day. See you next time.